Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving right into the ultimate tale of the tape between three spectacular spotted predators that people are constantly mixing up: the leopard, the cheetah, and the jaguar. Now, they might share spotted coats and that top-tier apex predator status, but as we dig into the data, we'll see exactly how three vastly different evolutionary paths forged three entirely distinct survival machines. Here is our scouting report for today. We're going to cover the big cat identity crisis, weighing in on physical builds, speed versus pure power, masterful hunting strategies, surviving the modern world, and finally, the ultimate apex predator showdown. All right, Section 1, the big cat identity crisis, separating the spots. To really get our foundation set, we have to separate these cats geographically. You see, the highly adaptable leopard actually has the widest global footprint. We're talking right across Africa and into parts of Asia, surviving in everything from mountains to deserts. The cheetah, though, heavily restricted to the open plains of Africa. And then there's the jaguar, holding undisputed dominion over the Americas, reigning supreme in dense rainforests all the way from Mexico down to Argentina. Basically, they might rock similar coats, but they live in totally different zip codes. Moving right along to Section 2, weighing in, physical builds, the tail of the tape. Now, when we actually weigh them in, the jaguar operates in a completely different heavyweight class. I mean, capping out at a mass of 121 kilograms of dense, compact muscle, broad shoulders, and thick limbs, it is an absolute tank. And here's a wild fact. Leopards might look huge in photographs, but they are actually the lightest of our big three here, usually maxing out around 65 kilograms. And then, sitting on the total opposite end of the spectrum, is the cheetah. Their build is this extreme evolutionary trade-off. Think less prizefighter and way more Formula One car. They're engineered with these incredibly long limbs, a remarkably deep chest to just gulp down massive amounts of oxygen, and a super flexible spine. They are built purely for aerodynamics, not brute strength. Which brings us to Section 3, speed versus pure power, athletic extremes. So when it comes to raw velocity, the cheetah completely dominates. It reigns supreme as the fastest land mammal on Earth, hitting blistering speeds of up to 120 kilometers per hour. That's highway speed. The heavier, ambush-focused leopard and jaguar are honestly just left entirely in the dust. They can move quickly when they need to, sure, but their biology simply isn't wired for a high-speed foot race. But, speed isn't everything. Environmental mobility is just as crucial. Take the leopard. It's an incredibly elite tree climber. It has the raw core strength to literally hoist heavy carcasses high up into the canopy just to hide them from scavengers like lions and hyenas. The heavyweight jaguar, on the other hand, is the undisputed king of the water. It uses those incredibly thick limbs to navigate rivers and wetlands like it's nothing. It is a remarkably powerful swimmer. Let's step into the field for Section 4, masterful hunting strategies, deconstructing the hunt. Because of that highly specialized frame we talked about, the cheetah executes a really precise three-step pursuit: close the distance, explode into a sprint, and secure a lightning-fast takedown. But here is the biological catch. Generating that 120 kilometer per hour burst creates immense heat. If they don't catch their prey quickly, their engine literally redlines, and they are forced to completely abandon the hunt just to cool down. Conversely, the massive jaguar relies entirely on raw, unadulterated power. They have absolutely zero interest in a prolonged pursuit. Instead, they launch from heavy cover to deliver what is widely known as one of the strongest bites of any big cat. We're talking jaws built to crush right through bone and even turtle shells. They end the hunt in a fraction of a second without even breaking a sweat. Then we have the agile leopard, utilizing a highly effective middle ground strategy. They act as infinitely patient stalkers, relying heavily on dense vegetation and the cover of darkness to creep incredibly close before launching a sudden attack. So not sprinters, not brawlers, they're really the ultimate stealth assassins of the cat family. All right, moving on to Section 5, surviving the modern world, the shared threat. What you really need to take away here is that, despite their terrifying apex status, human expansion remains the overwhelming shared threat to all three of these species. Leopards are facing continuous habitat loss and retaliatory killings from livestock owners. Jaguars are rapidly losing territory as rainforests get cleared for agriculture. And cheetahs, well, perhaps most concerningly, they face highly fragmented populations and intense pressure from the illegal exotic pet trade.
Their incredible biological armor sadly offers zero defense against bulldozers.
Which brings us to our final act, Section 6, the ultimate apex predator, the final showdown. It's the ultimate question everyone asks after looking at all these stats. If you were to somehow drop a leopard, a cheetah, and a jaguar into a direct head-to-head physical conflict, setting aside their totally different habitats for a second, who walks away as the undisputed champion? Well, the breakdown is absolutely decisive. Taking the #1 spot is the jaguar. With its towering 121-kilogram frame, raw brawling strength, and that crushing bite we mentioned, sheer bulk secures the crown. Coming in a solid second is the resilient leopard, leveraging its agility and the hardened combat experience it gets from constantly defending its meals from lions and hyenas. And in third place, the cheetah. Its lightweight, aerodynamic frame simply isn't built to survive a prolonged, heavy-hitting fight. So, while the jaguar takes the gold medal in a physical brawl, we're really left with a much more sobering question. All three of these magnificent animals are fighting an uphill war against human expansion. The speed of the cheetah, the stealth of the leopard, and the absolute power of the jaguar have allowed them to conquer their natural environments for millennia. But as their wild spaces continue to shrink day by day, are their incredible evolutionary designs going to be enough to survive the modern world? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this gave you a newfound appreciation for the unique engineering behind these amazing big cats.